Good afternoon. So we are here live in the Marketing Coffee House to talk about social media engagement. So first of all, I just want to welcome everybody. It's not until you get on the camera that you realize that you got something really funky going on with your hair up here, but that's okay. Not much I can do about that. So anyway, for anybody that's new, hi Pam, how you doing? For anybody that's new to the coffee chat, what the format is that I'm going to talk for a little bit about the topic. If you have questions or comments as we go, please put those into the chat. I really love it whenever the chat winds up being interactive. So feel free to throw in anything that you want to talk about in there related to this topic. And then I guess that's about it. So let's get started. Hey, James, how you doing? Welcome. So we're talking about combating low social media engagement. So obviously, people that are trying to market a business or a product on social media want engagement. You want people to be seeing and engaging on your posts. So some things to think about in that regard. Number one is, what is your objective? So are you trying to sell a product? Are you selling a service? Are you just trying to increase brand awareness? What exactly is it that you're trying to accomplish on social media? So, and by the way, I have a blog post really that I'm taking most of this information from. And when we're done here, I'll go ahead and put the link for that in the chat. So don't feel like you got to worry about remembering everything, because you can go back and read this. But so anyway, what's your purpose? Why are you doing this? So it's important really to spend some time thinking about that. And the reason is that kind of the next thing is, where are you posting? For example, I use Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter are the three primary social media outlets that I use. I don't post the same things on Twitter as I do on Facebook or as I do on LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is more of a business to business kind of thing. That LinkedIn's not the place necessarily to sell a product. And you get different kinds of engagement on each one of those. So it's important to think about your objective so that you know where you want to be posting. And then the other part, hold on, I just see a comment popping up here. Pam says, selling handmade goods, great products, friends just don't share it. Is sharing the only way to get noticed? So sharing is not the only way to get noticed, but think about this. So if you're trying to sell a product, Pam's trying to sell handmade goods, and you post that on Facebook, let's say. Now, I'm just going to make this up, but let's say you got 1,000 Facebook friends, right? So maybe a dozen of them are going to actually see that post. They might not be the dozen that you really want to see that post. They're not going to necessarily be people that are going to share that post. And of course, sharing helps, but it only helps if the person that shares it has a wide audience as well. So you might want to think about doing a mix of, let's say, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, just throwing that out there. Because, anytime you're selling something, it's generally about the numbers, about the volume of people that are seeing what you're posting. So if you have a low following on Facebook, you're probably not going to get a lot of engagement. And then also I have other, articles you can browse or ask me for them, about how to build your Facebook, how to build your Twitter. so that you have more people seeing your posts. Tim says, I will be using social media to find churches who might need I gotta scroll down, who might need my auditing services. So, for somebody like Tim, Facebook might be a good outlet and LinkedIn might be a good outlet. So these are things to think about, the objective and where. So those are the first two things. The next thing is when. Now, the when is also, going to be based on your objective. And it's going to be based on your target market. So, for example, if I am selling auditing services to churches, such as Tim is, do I want to be providing that service to churches in Europe or in Australia or only in the United States or the United States and Canada? So if you have more of a narrow target market, such as, let's just say it's the United States, so we all know what the time zones are in the United States. So you want to catch people at certain times when people are potentially going to be on social media. If your target market is worldwide, then time kind of becomes a little less relevant, because when somebody in the United States is sleeping, somebody in Australia might just be waking up. So, timing is also something to think about. And then what content are you posting? What does your content consist of? So, I like to make sure, no matter what I'm doing, that I have a decent mix of content. You don't want to be selling with every single post. You want to have a mix of providing value. I believe we talked about this last week. Maybe you can look in the video section. You want to have a mix. You want to provide value to your potential customers, and you also want to sell, but you don't want to be selling 100% of the time. Of course, you can't be just providing value 100% of the time. You got to sell sometimes. So you got to find a good mix of sales posts versus what I like to call value posts. Also, what does your content look like? Is it attractive? So, and you need to spend a little bit of time on that. So you don't want to just be posting text only all the time. You don't want to be posting images all the time. So you want to find a mix. And that mix also comes into play depending on whether you're on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn. If you're on Instagram, Instagram is all about pictures. So, you want to have attractive content, valuable content. Try video. Video tends to attract more people. Go live on Facebook. I think you can even go live on Twitter, maybe even LinkedIn. I don't know. But, try out some video as well as part of your content mix. Polls are another good way to get engagement. And then there's a whole nother aspect, especially if you're talking about Facebook, as to where on Facebook are you posting this stuff? Are you just posting it on your Facebook page? Are you posting it in a group? Do you have a group? Those are all things to consider as well. And then the last thing is, if you want to increase your engagement, you need to engage as well. So you can't expect to just be posting and posting and posting stuff on your social media accounts, but never give anybody else the time of day. By interacting with other people, by engaging with other people, you begin to build relationships. And when you begin to build relationships, you begin to foster those relationships, Pam, where people will share your posts. Sometimes you got to ask people to share your posts too. Just come right out and say, please share, if you don't mind. But you have to engage. And again, engaging is kind of a whole nother topic. You know, and I have different articles and different ebooks on most of this stuff. So feel free to ask me, you know, if there's anything that you, you know, that you have an interest in trying to maybe dig a little bit deeper. You know, I'm here to try to help as much as I can. I do have a lot of resources that I can pass out. So, and while I'm thinking about it, I'm going to go ahead and post this this link for today's topic in the chat here. So this is the blog post that I'm taking most of this information from on my blog. So let's just I'm going to recap and give anybody that is watching an opportunity. Wait, Tim has another comment here. Let me see. For my posts, I would think that a church fraud of the week series would be of interest, with an occasional video lecture, all with a link at the bottom to my website. Tim, I think that's a great idea. I think that's a great idea. Yeah, I mean, it's good to have something of interest that also you can be selling at the same time. So in Tim's example, you know, he's selling church audits, you know, to try to prevent fraud. So maybe a fraud of the week is a pretty good topic to be presenting to your audience. You know, and also use hashtags too. Boy, that's a whole nother topic. But I don't even think I have anything on hashtags, but you can Google that. So, all right, so I'm going to just recap real quick and give anybody a chance that's watching to add any more comments. So we're talking about social media engagement, how to increase your engagement, and basically how to get more people to see your stuff. So first step is, what's your objective? Spend some time on that. Second step, where are you posting? Third step, when are you posting? Fourth step, what are you posting? What's it look like? What's your content? And then also, lastly, engage with others. So thank you guys for being here today. Thank you for your comments and making this a little bit interactive. I always enjoy that much more. And anybody that's watching this after, feel free to throw some more stuff in the comments. We can keep talking about this in the group. Everybody have a great weekend, and I will see you back here next Friday.